and welcome back to another video at my YouTube channel. Today is a Halloween video featuring Art Impressions Holiday Mansion and the add-on set for Halloween and Christmas, as well as one of the Funny Bones sentiment sets. So everybody grab a cup of coffee, glass of wine. This one's going to be one of my longer videos because there's a lot to this one. I'm going to start out by stamping the house, and this is a new stamp set, so I stamped it about 3 times to get a really good dark impression on my stamp set. And I'm stamping this on a sheet of Neenah 80 pound silver white. And now I'm just adding the shutters. They're a separate stamp, so you can put them on straight or you can put them on wonky, you know, however you want your Haunted Mansion to look. So I did one of them a little wonky to more resemble what I thought a Haunted Mansion would look like. So after I get through stamping, and I'm sorry I did not have all that in the camera really great, but now I'm going to stamp all the accessories out of the accessory stamp set, all the Halloween accessories, and I'm going to stamp some of these a couple of times. And this is again just on a scrap of Neenah 80 pound silver white. And I do stamp them a couple of times just to get a really good dark impression. So this is a brand new stamp set for me. I'm really looking forward to using this at Christmas as well, and getting the add-on stamp sets for Valentine's Day and Easter as well. They're adorable. All of them are just super cute. So yes, I will be getting all those add-ons. So I wanted several ghosts and a couple of different of the little monsters and the pumpkins and everything. I did realize after that I stamped all these that the eyes do not come with the dice, because all these come with the dies. It's a package deal, the stamps and the dies. There's no option for either or. It's a package deal. So the eyes do not have a die, so you just want to stamp those wherever you want those. I didn't realize that at first until I started die cutting everything, and then I realized, oh, yep, those don't have a die. So just FYI, if you get this, you know, don't bother stamping the eyes ahead of time. Okay, for my pumpkins, I used YR27, YR15, and YR68. And I think that's a really good orange color. It does pumpkins really well. For the little stem there, let's see, I think I did, hold on. Well, I will have all the Copic colors listed on my blog post for today. I don't have those written down, but I will have them all listed on my blog post for today. I think that was the greens in the E90 family. Anyway, I'm just coloring up all my little accessories and getting everything colored prior to die cutting. Yes, I'm looking at those markers, and yes, it's the E90s. You can get all sorts of colors in the E families. There's shades of red, there's shades of green, there's shades of brown, just, you know, shades of orange. There's all sorts of colors in the E90, or in the E family. So I use the E's a lot. And so I'm just adding some shading to my ghosts just to give them a little bit of dimension and stuff. And if you go a little too far with your shading on your ghost, you can take your colorless blender and really blend it out and make it softer, and where it just looks like some shadows. So now I'm going to start on my house, and you know, this is a lot of coloring, you know, so make sure you've got some time set aside if you want to do this project, because between the house and everything, it is a lot of coloring. I sped this video up, I think, 3.5 times or 4 times the time it took me to get it down to 16 minutes. So it was a lot of coloring, but I think it was worth it. You know, it turned out super cute, and I really liked the finished product. So and like I said, I do plan on doing a Christmas version and getting the add-on sets for Valentine's and Easter. They're all super cute. So this is going to just take a while to do all this coloring, and this is, I think, the E40 family that I'm coloring the house in. So we went to feed our bees this morning, and we found another hive that lost its queen. So we are down 3 hives this year. So that was a real bummer to find that out this morning. And, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, a little bit shame on me because I haven't been, you know, giving them the extra sugar water boost. But then again, I think, you know, if the queen's going to die, she's going to die. I think it really doesn't matter about, you know, how much you're feeding them or whatever. You know, I think in the spring I'm just going to requeen all my hives. I told my husband I think it's just best to requeen all the hives, then we know exactly how old our queens and stuff are, and you know, we can just go from there. And we're going to, you know, build up our little community to about 15 hives, and that way hopefully we can maintain the 12 that we need. Okay, so back to the card. Here we are using the window frame little dies in the set to just, you know, die cut the innards to the little window frames. And I'm also putting on the door dies. It took me a minute to figure out, honestly, what all the little dies are for. Some of them weren't making a whole lot of sense to me, and then I realized, oh, okay, these, you know, score on one side, so the little doors in the house open. So then I realized, well, you can see the back side of the door, so I decided to color the back side of the door, and then it made the front of my door look a little funny, so I had to go back over the front of the door, because, you know, Copics do bleed through. Whenever you color properly, they bleed through. When you get good coverage, they bleed through. So here I am, did the back side of the door, and now I'm doing the front side of the door, and so I decided to add some wood grain look to the front of the door. And so I really thought that kind of made it stand out and look different. So now I think I'm going to, yes, I'm going to back the inside of the doors with yellow to match the yellow that I colored. So I just colored those same markers on some Neenah paper, and then I'm just going to cut them out, and I'm just going to tape them on the back side with some Scotch tape. And no stress, just use some Scotch tape and tape these on the back side. Nobody's going to see it. You know, who cares what it looks like on the back side? So then now I've got the same yellow as I do on my windows inside of my doors. And so I just wanted to use the inside frame, and so I just trimmed them out with my scissors to fit inside the window frames, and that way I've got the inside frames for my windows. And I just used some Simon Says stamp, I think fog cardstock or gray or fog. I can't remember. But I'll have everything linked down in the video description below. So I think that made them look really cute, really starts making it look like the little house. And to get rid of my white edges, I'm using my Memento Tuxedo Black marker. And you want to hold it where your marker is on the back side of the house. That way, if you slip, you're going to slip on the back of your project and not the front of your project. Yeah, ask me how I know you need to do that. Yes, because I have messed up more than one project by my marker slipping when I'm trying to edge it. And those edges, just doing the edges just finishes off your piece, and it just makes it look more polished and everything, and makes it look like your die cuts and everything are you know, very precise. For these little images, I'm using my Sizzix Sidekick. I just love this little die cut machine. it works so good, and you can have it just right on your desktop. It's, you know, easy to move in and out, doesn't take up a lot of space, and it just works really, really good. So now I'm using a piece of Bristol, and I am working on my background, and I'm going to fade it from purple to blue to black, and I'm just using some regular distress inks, not distress oxide, and I punched out with a little circle punch a circle out of some post-it tape, and my post-it tape wasn't quite big enough, but you know, moons are never really exactly circular, even when full. Maybe there's clouds or whatever. So I didn't stress over it. I thought, it'll work good enough. So the distress inks I used were Dusty Concord, Chip Sapphire, and Black Soot. And I just did my clouds with my MFT cloud stencil, and I just did that with a little bit of the Black Soot. Now I'm going to take some Copic Opaque White and just put it on acrylic block, and I'm going to use my Arteza water brush and just get some good splatters going. Okay, so now I'm going to get out my Lawn Fawn grassy hillside border, and I'm going to cut a little grassy hillside out of some Simon Says Stamp green cardstock. And that die folder that you saw, that's new. I got that for my birthday, and I'm really loving it. It keeps all my dies, you know, because it has magnetic sheets in it, and so it keeps everything in place, and they're very easy to flip through the pages and find what you need. Okay, so here I am going back and stamping the little eyeballs, and I'm just masking that bottom there because my eyeball stamp was longer than that window. And so just do some easy masking there. And then I'm adding some of the spider webs. And I'm going to do the spider webs, one of the webs over the frames in the windows. So you just want to, you know, give it a really good mash. And it worked out really well. It went over the little frame, you know, window frames real easily. Okay, so now I broke out some Distress Oxides and mustard seed because I wanted to give the moon a glow. And with the oxides, you would get a good, you know, coverage on top of the other distress inks. And I'm just using some of my gray markers just to put some spots into the moon and stuff. This could be clouds, it could be craters in the moon, you know, whatnot. And now I'm adding my grass, but before I didn't like how green the grass was, so I decided to add some, I think, Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink over the top just to kind of give it that fall, you know, turning, you know, kind of look to the grass. And I'm just going to add some more around the edge here. And I thought that gave it a really nice, you know, fall look to my grass. So now I'm just working on placement. I'm going to add a little shadow there underneath the house and give some dimension to all those little eyeballs. And just do some more Scotch ATG to adhere the house. This card has a lot going on, so I didn't really think that I needed to pop anything up on foam. So I kept it all relatively flat so it will, you know, mail very easily. So now I'm just going to add all my little decorative pieces that I did, just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. This is one of my favorite liquid adhesives. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but it doesn't take long for it to adhere, you know, very quickly. That little sign on the door, that was one of the spots that I added a little bit of foam just to give it some dimension off the door. But still, it will, you know, mail very easily. That's just one little spot of dimension. So I'm just going to tuck this little jack-o'-lantern in behind some of those little blades of grass. And now my card base is a Simon Says stamp, a gray note card, A2 size. And this came in one of the recent Simon Says stamp kits but you know, you can get your own cardstock and, you know, cut out of any color, of course. So here's my Funny Bones stamp set. It says wine in a red solo cup because trick-or-treating should be fun for moms too. Funny Bones has some awesome sentiment sets. If you haven't checked them out, they're so worth looking into. And Simon Says Stamp carries a large variety of the Funny Bone stamp sets. That's where I get all of mine. So now I'm just finishing off the inside of my card, just adhering the last of the images, and I'm going to go over everything with my Nuvo Aqua Glitter Shimmer Pen. This gives a really nice silvery kind of glitter. So here's a final look at my card. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back real soon with another video.